We are a network of local, state and federal governments as well as youth organisations coming together with one interest in mind, and that is young people in Bankstown. Now the reason we all come together is we share the view that young people in Bankstown need to have access to an optimum level of services, facilities and opportunities, and we ensure that that level is maintained. This video, known as the Missing Project, basically came about as a joint initiative between the Youth Advisory Committee of Council and BWIN. And basically it's an opportunity to highlight the services that were once available to young people in Bankstown and the positive impact that those services had to the lives of those young people who accessed the services.
What you looking at?
Looking at this.
How young people are addressed by policy will influence current social and economic conditions and the well-being and livelihood of future generations.
It's what a shame all these projects have gone missing.
Yeah, like at Horizon, we had a
Youth Arts Outreach Program.
Yeah, what was that about?
The Youth Arts Outreach Program was based at Horizon Theatre Company and was a program which used creative arts as a mechanism for young people to think about and explore the issues that they are surrounded by in today's society.
It looked like this.
I've been working with Horizon Theatre since 1999-2000. I've been involved in a heap of projects and I've seen a lot of people sort of come and go and come back. The main project I've been a part of is the Youth Arts Culture Outreach Project.
Hi, my name is Jason. I work in before and after school care at the Revesby YMCA. I'm assistant coordinator there. I do some work in disabilities in a place called The Centre in group homes. I also work at Horizon Theatre Company as an actor and puppeteer, and I'm part of the board of directors there.
I've seen a lot of kids who they didn't have a lot of direction when they started out at the theatre, but as time went on they've sort of found they found a niche, they found what they're good at, and that's really sort of increased their self-esteem.
Before Horizon, I lived in a refuge, Rowallan House Youth Refuge, and there I still attended high school, and I had a love for drama, but I had a love for music, but that's about it. I just attended school to attend school, and I felt no use in any of my skills that I had.
Came from an issue with accommodation living in refuges, and it was actually Jason that dragged me in here. And maybe not kicking and screaming, but that was 6.5, 7 years ago now. So it's been going for a while.
I think a lot of people who have come to the theatre, even though they weren't interested in art to begin with, have pretty much realised that it's something that they can have too. It's not something that's out of touch for them.
I was going through a pretty tough time in my life. I was only 14 and struggling at school, and had got myself into a bit of trouble with an addiction of one kind or another.
Arts and culture it's what you make of it, really. I mean, once you've allowed yourself to be drawn into that world, you realise exactly how important it is to you and what it can do for you.
I was introduced to Horizon Theatre and started there in street performance. I was trained there in acting, in puppetry and lots of different forms of theatre.
Eventually I kind of, made some friends here and, started to develop some good professional relationships as well, and started to discover some hidden talents. And yeah, I really found a place here, and I think the program really helped me learn a lot about myself.
You find some of the talents you didn't think you had, and you achieve some of the goals that you want, but it also helps you to set a lot of the goals you didn't think you ever wanted to achieve.
I know that being involved with Horizon has definitely taught me that I should be proud of my work as an artist and not to try and separate it from my you know, from my daily life and my daily activities.
The good thing about the program is working with puppets is all the emotions that you can't express to other people, you can actually bring out in the puppet itself, and just may have something that's a foot high and put all your energy and emotion into it and convey that to, say, 100 people in the audience, and they all know exactly how you feel and kind of what you've been through.
And there's nothing like that feeling, knowing that they're understanding or they're feeling what you're putting into the work as well.
Yeah, and at the end of it all, you can look at them all and see the smiles and hear the applause and just kind of have a moment of arrogance. Yeah, I did that.
It's a moment of glory more than anything else.
Nowadays, I use my theatre for everything, not just at Horizon, but in childcare, to teach the kids and to inspire them.
How did you do that?
Girls can do anything.
We had some positions go missing too. I'll take you there and show you now.
The Youth Crime Prevention Officer was a position that was based in both Canterbury and Bankstown councils, and in the closing of that position they developed the Youth Crime Prevention Plan. Now there are fantastic ideas and initiatives targeting young people in the area of crime prevention that unfortunately cannot be implemented due to the lack of the service.
The Youth Crime Prevention Officer, which is based at local council, which we previously had funding for. It was a joint position with Canterbury Council, but unfortunately probably about a year, 18 months ago, we lost funding for that position. So really there's no one that's specifically based at council who can deal with youth crime prevention issues, and which is problematic because there was a youth crime prevention program that was established to run from 2003 to 2006.
So what's the impact of the loss of this project?
Bankstown has a really high proportion of young people. 30% of the population in Bankstown are young people under the age of 25. I guess one of the big ones is there is no one to implement that youth crime prevention strategy that was put into place by council. And so a lot of programs that could really benefit young people are being, delayed.
The South Bankstown Youth Project was based at Coolaboo Neighbourhood Centre and serviced young people 12 to 25 who were residing in Revesby, East Hills, Panania and surrounding districts. And the service provided opportunities for young people to access recreational activities, holiday programs and drop-in in that area.
Looks like Coolaboo has some projects missing too.
Okay, let's head over there then.
Hey, how are you?
Good.
What's wrong?
The South Bankstown Youth Project's missing. No one's seen it since November last year. It's just disappeared. All the kids are out on the street. They've got nowhere to go on a Friday night. Yeah, all the kids used to come here to Coolaboo and they used to have a great time doing all the activities and having games and everything and playing pool, basketball, but yeah, they're not here anymore. So we don't know where they are. They're back on the streets again.
So what's been the effect on the young people for this project being lost?
Well, it means there's no project for at-risk youth in this area. So generally there's no early intervention strategies going. They've got nowhere to come to for drop-in activities, safety programs that we used to run, domestic violence workshops, gaming workshops, things like that.
Wow.
The impact's just devastating. You see them and they're just so sad that it's gone. So, yeah.
Do they want to come back?
They do want to come back, yeah. We've seen them around on the street and they keep telling us, yeah, when are they going to get the project back up again? But yeah, we just don't know what's going on.
I remember hearing Pimentro was having some problems as well.
Hey, we should have spoken to Mohammed when we had the chance.
Oh well, that's easy. We'll just go back over there now. We'll just walk.
The Youth Peer Mentor project is one that's based at Bankstown Multicultural Youth Service, and it's a project that's identified young leaders in a community who are driven by the same passion, and that is to provide opportunities and enhance outcomes for young people in the local area.
I've been involved in the peer mentoring project for about 3 years now. You know, we went to TAFE, we've done a training course, which actually mentoring the community. So it's basically we haven't done any direct mentoring. We've done indirect, which is probably we'll see a young person who needs a bit of help. We consult him, we talk to him. Someone they could turn to if a young person doesn't feel comfortable talking to an elder or talking to a youth worker or stuff. You know, maybe he'd feel comfortable talking to a young person, which, you know, the same position where they're in. I think we're just a tool which some people could turn to.
What have been the major achievements coming from the peer mentoring scheme?
Well, over the past 3 years which I've been doing peer mentoring, I think we've achieved a lot, and I think we've exceeded to another level. You know, I think not only ourselves, but a lot of young people have seen themselves exceeding to a next level, which only recently we went to awareness camp, which we took a lot of street frequenting young people. I think when we went away, they actually saw that we're here for them, you know.
So is that project ending or it's already finished?
Well, in about a month and a half or 2 months, we run out of funding, so I don't think, I don't think we're in a position to question upon if we're gonna get more funding or if it's just gonna end in 2 months or so.
So what's going to happen if the project finishes without getting any more funding?
Well, I could say I think it is a major loss, not only for the young people in Bankstown, but also for what we benefited. I think every individual who we came across, either it was offering mentoring or just a bit of counselling, I think together we eradicated a lot of problems, which you could say a lot of young people were facing.
What cut it short, and what cut it short now when we're doing so well?
Exactly. So, is this the end of the road or something, or is it just young people have got to move on? I don't see, as you said, I don't see why money's been cut off. I mean, look, not only my project. I think the two of you's got very, very informative projects as well, with which a lot of young people could benefit from. So I don't see why it's, I guess, the end of the line.
So what are we going to do about all this?
I don't know.
You know, we had to get out and change things, or they simply didn't happen. I mean, particularly women, I have to say, as a feminist growing up in the 60s and being a teenager during the 70s, I know the changes that we only brought about by lobbying and demanding and being politically active and being very radical. And had we not, let me tell you, we would still be stuck at home with the kids, no childcare, 2/3 of the pay that blokes got for exactly the same job. There'd be no women in power. I mean, young people, I think, probably have a lot to learn from the women's movement of the 70s.
Jeez, she sounds pretty smart.
Yeah, she does. Let's go talk to her. So what can young people do to get our funding back?
Well, I think young people probably have to do the same as we old people have to do, or we middle-aged people, depending on how you want to define us. Actually, I don't like either of those terms now I think about it. What about we elders? Anyway, regardless. I think that young people do need to act for themselves and be willing to become involved and to become active. I think I have to say it's one of the things that has changed over the last few decades. I think our young people tend not to be as politically active as they were. Certainly my generation were known for their political activism. Young people lobbying government, lobbying people like me, lobbying our federal members and our state members of parliament, talking to business as well. I mean, business have some responsibility as well in our community to address social issues. They're part of the community, and I think that they can put some funding into some of these projects and initiatives. So I think it is important that young people become active. They should be identifying what it is they want to see funded. They know their peers best. They know what their needs are, and they should be telling those of us in positions of power. You do need to be speaking out on behalf of other young people.
International Youth Day is a day that recognises young people and provides them with an opportunity to speak out. And hopefully through this project, we've also provided a platform in the local area for them to do that.